Calling this meeting to order at 5 p.m. Adoption of the agenda.
The West Elgin Council hereby adopts the regular council agenda for October 10th, 2024 as presented.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Statham. Seconder. Deputy Mayor Tellier. All in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Disclosure of any pecuniary interest. Seeing none. Adoption of the minutes.
The West Elgin Council hereby adopt the minutes of September 26, 2024 as presented.
Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Denning. Seconded. Councillor Statham. All in favour? It's carried. Thank you. Businesses arising from the minutes. Seeing none. We go to 6, which is staff reports. Building. Did we all have a good look at it? Yeah, thank you.
The recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby receives the report from Corey Pemberton, CBO, regarding Building Department Summary Report for the month of September 2024.
A mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier. Seconder. Councillor Statham. All in favour? It's carried. Thank you. We go to 6.2, which is fire. Monthly fire report, September 24. We all looked at that. It was just a 1 monthly report. So maybe I could have the recommendation for that, please.
The West Elgin Council hereby receives the monthly fire report for September 2024 from Jeff MacArthur, Fire Chief, for information purposes.
Yeah, can I have a mover for that, please? Councillor Denning. Seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier. All in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Operations and Community Services. Monthly Operations Report, September 2024. We've all had a chance to have a good read at that. So, no comments. Okay. Can we have the recommendation, please?
The recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby receives the monthly operations report, September 2024, from Lee Gosnell, Manager of Operations and Community Services, for information purposes.
Mover, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? It's carried. Thank you. So, next is 6.4, planning. A request to alter status of road, Dymick Line and Grey Line is evening, Robert.
Evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council.
If you could fill us in on this one, please.
Certainly. What's before you today? One is an official request that we received, or I received via email from a landowner located at the end of Dymock Line, who has a property that presents some challenges. One of which is the property is currently landlocked. The property owner does indicate that they have a right of way over the neighboring farm parcel to this property, and they'd like to construct a dwelling on it. The zoning on the property does exempt them from a couple of different sections in the bylaw that would normally be applicable. One being that there's some form of frontage, to a minimum of 10 meters for existing lots, as well as frontage on an open traveled road allowance. Now, although the zoning does grant this property owner some relief from those two requirements, it doesn't absolve them or the building department more specifically from being able to issue a permit on this property unless they can demonstrate that there's adequate access through the right-of-way itself, but also onto an open traveled road allowance. Now, Dymock Line, for about 450 meters from the last driveway that goes into a farm property with a dwelling and a house, is currently a no winter maintenance road. If you travel down that road, it doesn't change in status a lot on the ground when you look at it. It is a little narrower, but it does look like any other traveled gravel road throughout the municipality. It's basically just its classification as no winter maintenance road. So we stopped the plow just short of the driveway access for the house and farm that are there. In order to open that road, that roughly 450 meters of road, it would have to council would have to grant would have to pass a bylaw to upgrade the status from what it is now to a year-round maintained road, which would not be inexpensive. And when you look at the cost, sort of the cost benefit versus the cost of the municipality may collect some additional taxes because of the construction of a dwelling, but clearly not enough to offset the significant cost of upgrading the road, making sure that it's proper width, making sure that it's properly drained, and making sure that emergency services can turn around at the end of the road, snowplows can turn around at the end of the road for maintenance and so forth. That was laid out in the report as a combined cost between this and another road. The other road is gray aligned from Graham Road. There's roughly a bit over 300-meter section of road there that does go to a lot that is located along the lake, did contain some buildings, did contain a house, none of which have been maintained over the years. The house itself has actually kind of collapsed in on itself, so nobody lives there. There are hydro poles that go down the road. But the road itself, unlike Dymock, this road is really nothing more than a dirt path. It hasn't been maintained over the years as a traveled road allowance, simply because there's nobody down there to access it, and there's access to the neighboring farm property directly off of Graham. This one has not been a direct request, but we have had a number of inquiries because there is a property where some of the old buildings and the old house were located that's been listed for sale. It's a bit over 30 acres. There's been a number of different requests about development potential, about building a house on it and so forth. But of course, the one question that continues to be raised is the status of the road. And again, we've explored a number of options with different people, the municipality taking on and improving the road. The improvement of Dymock would probably run even more expensive because it doesn't have really an existing base on it to properly support travel up and down it. And again, if we were to open that road at the behest of one landowner for the construction of one dwelling, the municipality will never recoup the investment in that road. And the cost estimate I provided in the report, I mentioned it also doesn't factor in the annual maintenance of both of those sections of road, again, to be maintained for the purpose of accessing one dwelling, not an existing dwelling, new dwellings that would need to be constructed on the road to open it up. And both roads obviously have to be constructed to support access beyond just the residents themselves. We've fielded questions about surplusing the road and conveying it to the individual that wants to live there. That certainly may be an option, but for now, because we're getting so many inquiries and because we got the official request from Dymock Line, I wanted to bring this forward to council, advise them what's going on, and provide some information and costing as to what's associated with this. I've reviewed this with both the CAO and our manager of operations. They're both in agreement that just the cost benefit imbalance on this just doesn't make a lot of sense for the municipality to take it upon themselves to sort of voluntarily, I guess, upgrade both of these roads. So unless there's questions from council, that is all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from council? Yes, Councillor Denning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through the chair. Thanks, Robert. So as you can see from the map, on the opposite side of Graham Road is Eagle Court. And that was a sort of a planned subdivision of the late 80s, early 90s. If there was a request across the road on this property for something similar to that for dwellings and the zoning would allow for it if there was a zoning amendment or whatever the case may be. Would it make sense to consider creating that road as an actual road in the future for multiple dwellings, in your opinion?
The simple answer to that question, through you, Mr. Mayor, is yes, it would. The trouble that
We
we
justify.
have along the lake is the Conservation Authority, and I'm not saying this to blame the Conservation Authority. They've simply pointed out that any lands along the lake that come forward in the future, they are going to be very hesitant and reluctant to support more than 5 lots. So any form of development, that's not more lots, like, at least double that. Again, it goes back to sort of having to do that cost benefit analysis on whether we open the road. If we ignore that piece of the puzzle and say, yes, it could develop, would it make sense to open at that time? Yes. And it would also, I think, make sense for whoever's developing it to have some form of contribution in the improvement of the road, because they're obviously driving a benefit from that road being opened.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I can see personally it doesn't sort of justify doing a new patch of road for one dwelling, but could I have the recommendation, please?
That West Elgin Council hereby receives the report from Robert Brown, planner, for information purposes, and that council refuse the request for a change in the status of Dymock Line from a no winter maintenance road to a full year-round road, and further that council direct administration to advise prospective purchasers and or the affected landowners that the municipality is not prepared to change the status of Gray Line from no winter maintenance to a full year-round road at this time.
Could I have a mover, please? Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Statham, all in favour? It's carried. Okay, we've got to 7, committee and board reports or updates. Notice of motion? Unreceived? No?
Was there any committee and board?
Yes, okay. Councillor Denny.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through the chair. We had our arena board meeting yesterday, and we're drawing ever closer to being able to zero in on how much it's going to cost for the renovations for our arena. The arena board in the municipality of West Elgin is working right now on a grant that might, if we're successful, cover a significant portion of the renovations on top of the Craft Hockey though money, the West Elgin contribution, and the Dutton Dunwich contribution. So we're just getting ever so closer to being able to figure out how much is going to be left that needs to be fundraised. And if we are successful with this grant, we're looking at somewhere in the area of $250,000 to ask the community to support us with. But that number's not for sure yet, but I just thought I'd bring that to council's attention that that's where we're at.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We're moving forward. Good, thank you. Okay, now we go to notice of motion. There was none received. Councillors' inquiries and announcements? Yes.
Through the
Councillor
chair.
Statham.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention that we are well underway with the Roots and Revival Festival. It's going fantastic. I think that the community is really coming together. I think people are really enjoying it. We had a great weekend last weekend in downtown Rodney with the road closure and the farm market, live music. That mural is looking fantastic. I hope that the community's had a chance to go out and see it. The ATV poker run was also a resounding success. We were hoping for 50 riders, and there was 161. So it was fantastic. I think everybody had a great time. Apart from 2 machines that broke down, there were no incidents, no accidents, nobody got hurt. I think everybody had a great time. So so far so good. Tomorrow is the Friday. It's Farms Open. So we're going to have 5 local farms that are open for visitors, and I think that should be a great success as well. And then Saturday is the closing date for the festival. So I just wanted to mention that. It's going great so far. So really encouraging. Thanks.
Thank you. Great. Council, Deputy Mayor Tellier, please.
Thank you, through the chair. So in the past, I've been handing out candy for the municipality, basically, at the old jail, and I'm wondering if that's okay if I do that again this year on Halloween night. And I'll freeze probably, but that's okay. It's cold in there.
I don't anticipate that being a problem.
Okay.
Yep.
No.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, that was.
My husband brought me one once. But I was afraid that I'd be the one that burned the jail down, so we didn't really use it. I don't know. I was nervous, so. But last year I dressed in a huge gorilla costume, so that kept me warm. Yeah, I had a gorilla costume on. It was quite interesting. But maybe this year I can find something more fitting towards a old jail. Like, I don't know, maybe I can be a sheriff or something. I don't know. We'll find something.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Okay, we go to 10 correspondence. We go to the recommendation for that, please.
That West Elgin Council hereby receive and file all correspondence not otherwise dealt with.
Deputy Mayor Tellery moved it, seconded by Councillor Denning. All in favour? That's carried, thank you. Okay, we go to 11 items requiring council consideration. 11.1 West Elgin Community Health Centre renewal, the community garden, 259 Rideout Street, Rodney. I'll just say something like that. This is one success story that I've seen while I've been on the municipality. Absolutely, there was doubt in the first place. It's been kept absolutely in mint condition, and it's a pleasure to go look at. I see no problem with this at all. That's my 2 pence. Anybody else got anything to say on it? No. Recommendation, please.
The recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby received a letter dated September 24th, 2024 from Stephanie Skelding, RN Health Promoter, West Elgin Community Health Center, regarding renewal of lease agreement 259 Rideout Street, Rodney, and that council approved the extension of the agreement for an additional 2 years ending December 31st, 2026, and that council directs staff to prepare the agreement to be brought back for approval at a future meeting of council.
Move it, please. Councillor Statham, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried, thank you. 11.2 2025 OPP Annual Billing Statement. I said that quite firmly. I'm quite shocked that the prices have gone up so much. It's a small municipality and it's getting harder and harder to afford it. But has anybody got anything to? Councillor Denning, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and through the chair, I'd just like to reiterate what you've said. I've gone through the report. It appears as though the cost for policing for West Elgin is up nearly 20%. It appears as though call volume is down. And I have no doubt that all of the municipalities across Elgin County are experiencing a very similar looking invoice. So other than looking for council's thoughts on this, other than asking a representative from the OPP to come in here and speak to us about how this 20% increase is justified. I understand inflation, I understand salaries, all of those things. I don't know if somebody from OPP coming in here is going to really be able to satisfy our concerns. I understand it is what it is, but I wonder if this is something that perhaps West Elgin should be considering writing a letter to the other municipalities in Elgin County to see if there is any interest or appetite to looking into perhaps sourcing out an alternative solution in the idea of our own policing across the county, like the town of Elmer has. And I'm not asking that we would do that. I'm just wondering if there's any interest in West Elgin initiating a conversation with the other municipalities.
Yeah, thank you for that. It just can't keep on going up at that rate. In a few years' time, can you imagine what it's going to be? Anyone else got any? Yes, Councillor Statham.
Thank you, through the chair. I just wanted to echo Councillor Denning's comment. You know, if we look at the total calls for service, it was 663 calls for service in West Elgin in 2023 versus 800 in 2020, and that is almost a 20% decrease. And it's gone down consistently since 2020. So I am also a little bit confused on why there would be a 20% increase. I mean, I know to your point, I understand that there's inflation, but it just doesn't add up for me. But I'm not sure that the OPP coming in again would, you know, be able to provide any clarity, but I would appreciate maybe sort of an explanation on why that would be, maybe a little bit more clarity on that. But I think that if we can investigate some sort of alternative, I don't know if there's an appetite for that. Having our own police force, we might be facing the same struggles. But yeah,
Okay,
but I
thank you.
agree. We can't keep doing this. So,
Anybody else? Yeah, Deputy Mayor Tellier, please.
Thank you, Mayor, through the chair. Yeah, it's a huge increase. It's very shocked by the amount. I do believe they should come in and support these numbers. So if we could have them in a future meeting, nothing urgent, like next meeting or anything, but anything they would come, because I do believe that they last time came and said, anytime you have questions, want us to come by, reach out, we'll come by again and talk with you about any situation. So this would be one of them, but I'm wondering if the justification is going to be because now the policing is not just coming from the St. Thomas dispatchment, it's coming from the Chatham Kent dispatchment. Not sure why that would make it go up so much, but I know last time the OPP chief was here, that's what he had forwarded to us as information. So yeah, I'd love to hear from them in person. I don't really want a letter. I want something in person if they are able to come at all. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Yes, Councillor Denny.
I'd be happy to just pull back on my suggestion to reach out to the other municipalities about the idea of having a conversation about exploring the possibility of an Elgin County Police Force, subject to having the OPP representative come here and attempt to satisfy our concerns. And in the event that those concerns cannot be satisfied, then at a future point, I would bring that idea forward again.
Yeah, I agree with that one too. So have we managed to get a recommendation for that, Terry? That we invite?
So what I'll do is I'll reach out to them.
Yeah. Okay, so what about a recommendation then for this?
We can.
Okay.
The West Elgin Council hereby acknowledge receipt of the letter dated October 4th, 2024 from Steve Rideout, Superintendent, Commander, Municipal Policing Bureau, and the OPP Municipal Policing 2025 Annual Billing Statement Package for information and discussion purposes.
Okay, mover please. Councillor Statham, seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier, all in favour? It's carried. A letter of support for the Township of Nairn radioactive material being transported.
The recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby receive the letter dated August 21st, 2024 from the Township of Nairn and Hyman regarding transportation and deposition of naturally occurring radioactive materials, and that council directs staff to provide a letter of support to the Honorable Doug Ford, Honorable George Peary, Honorable Prabmeet Sekaria, Honorable Andrea Kanjan, and the Association of Municipalities of Ontario.
Move it, please. Councillor Statham, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? It's carried. Thank you. So we go to 11.4, letter of support, Tay Valley Township.
The recommendation is that West Elgin Council hereby support the letter dated September 25th, 2024 from Tay Valley Township regarding public sector salary disclosure, and that council directs staff to provide a letter of support to the Honorable Doug Ford, Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing and Association of Municipalities of Ontario.
Move, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. Thank you. Letters of support from the town of Colburn. Did you want, sorry, do you want me to read it all or?
Sure, I can.
No,
Okay. The recommendation is that council hereby support the letter received October 4th, 2024 from the town of Cobourg regarding involuntary care for individuals with severe mental health and addiction issues, and that council directs staff to send a letter of support to the Honorable Doug Ford, Honorable David Piscini, and Associations of Municipalities of Ontario.
I have a mover for that one, please. Councillor Denning, seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier, all in favour? That's carried. Okay, we'll go to 12.1, bylaw 2024-70, scholarship award policy.
The recommendation is that bylaw 2024-70, being a bylaw to adopt a policy being scholarship award policy, be read a first, second, third, and final time.
Okay. Mover. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Statham, all in favour? It's carried, thank you. I'm going to move into a closed session.
That the Council of the Municipality of West Elgin hereby proceeds into closed session at 5:28 PM to discuss matters pursuant to the Municipal Act, Section 239-2D, labor relations or employee negotiations, and Section 239-2B being personal matters about identifiable individuals, including municipal or local board employees.
Okay. You need a mover and seconder for
Yes,
that?
please.
Councillor Statham, seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier, all in favour? That's carried. Adoption of the agenda, do you need after when we've turned it on? Go to 14, which is report from closed session.
Reporting from closed at 6:34 PM. Council received two items pursuant to the Municipal Act, Section 239-2, for direction and discussion purposes. Council provided direction for both items, including the following recommendation. The West Elgin Council hereby receives the report from Terry Toshchuk, clerk, regarding volunteer recognition event, and that council direct the clerk to proceed with the volunteer award recipients as selected to be acknowledged at the volunteer recognition event, Saturday, November 23rd, 2024.
Okay. Move. Councillor Statham, seconded. Councillor Denning, all in favour? That's carried. Confirming bylaw.
That bylaw 2024-71, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the regular meeting of council held on October 10th, 2024, be read a first, second, third, and final time.
Move it, please. Deputy Mayor Tellier, seconded. Councillor Statham, all in favour? That's carried. And we move on to adjournment.
That the Council of the Municipality of West Elgin hereby adjourn at 6:35 PM to meet again at 4:00 PM on Thursday, October 24th, 2024, at the call of the chair.
Move it, please. Councillor Denning, seconded. Deputy Mayor Tellier, all in favour? It's carried. Thank you.